How we maximize our 240 square foot soap shop. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, I am Bethany and I own Mazel Tov Farm Soap. We create videos documenting our experiences owning a bath and body business. When we first moved into this shop, I was so overwhelmed on how to set up, how to even kind of like store my soap or anything. So I searched YouTube to kind of see what other small makers did and how they ran things and how they maximize their space. So that's what I'm going to do today, is kind of show you our shop and hopefully you guys can get some good ideas. So this section of our soap shop is the pop-up section where we hold all of our event stuff. The first thing is we have these bulky displays that we don't want on the shelves because they just take up so much room. So we utilize the wall space, hanging them on the wall. And then we have our shelf space where we have all of our other like crates and stuff that easily fits onto the shelf. And we have some extra kind of storage stuff. The one thing I would say is label the outside of your boxes. So if you can't see inside the box, make sure that you know what it is just looking from the outside, so that way it doesn't waste your time getting in there and seeing what it is. So this next section, I'm going to call it kind of our soap making section. So we have our stainless steel tables right here that we do all of the making on, and kind of these white tables back here, kind of our prep work, so we can kind of do the micas and the fragrance and all of that good stuff. Up here we have all of our either 16 or 18 ounce, or not 18, 8 ounce fragrance bottles. We have our micas. Down here we have our lye. Here we have our buckets. We have our big jugs of fragrance, if I can get one out, underneath here. So everything is super easy to get to when you need it to make soap, instead of going over here or going over here. It's everything is centrally located for the soap making. So this section is kind of our oil making section. So this is where all of our oils and butters are, and this is where we kind of pre-batch our batches for soap making. The things I would say are the key here is having a digiboiler for your hard oils. So this is our coconut oil. You plug it in, it heats it up, then you can just pour it out easily. Another thing is this handy dandy 5-gallon bucket opener. A lot of our oils and butters come in 5-gallon buckets and they're so hard to open, so that makes it easy to just pop the lid. But other than that, our oils are kind of just lined up here, and we have some of them that are in bottles. We put them in big carboy jugs, and then we just tilt them when we need to get them out. We also bought these off of Amazon. This is what we put them in, and 3 of these make one batch. So they have lids that go with them as well, and I'll link this in the description below. So this next section is where we keep all of our curing soaps. These are all actually baker's racks, and they have casters on the bottom so you can kind of roll them around. That makes them really nice. One thing I would say is if you get these for soap or even like soap shreds or whatever, getting the pans that have holes in them, that way the airflow goes through nicely and it cures your soap evenly. So another thing is we keep all of our clean trays over here, our dirty trays here, and then we have our dough molds here. These are actually dough molds that we measured to make soap in, and we figured out a cutter to cut them into correct sizing. So that's cool. I'll link these, everything down below in our description. But we have all of our racks here that just have our curing soap, and then once they're done curing, we move them over to the done racks. So this next section is where we have all of our done soap. From the curing rack, it gets moved over here, and it looks empty right now because it's January. It's our slow month, so this is usually filled top to bottom. Everything is so close together, so this is all filled. So this is where we pull from for orders and markets and all that good stuff. I would say one thing that works for us here is having our seasonal soaps up top, and then having all of our main stuff and having it in categories. So either like your men's scents all together, your all natural soaps together, just so when you're doing inventory, it's easy flowing. And another thing for inventory, we have them in stacks of 8, so that way it's easy to count during inventory. And then over here we have our lotions. So this is kind of basic. We just have our different sections of soap or lotion. And then these are kind of like our odds and ends soaps. So we have some extras of a custom order, or actually these are all custom orders. And then we're getting rid of Pure Orange. So these are the last of the 2 Pure Oranges, but I didn't want to sell them because the tops are kind of broken. So they go over here as oopsies or gifts or whatever.